but even here it's only hinted upon. And I'm using one that isn't a gigantic peak, but is the kind of experience that anybody can have as you are riding along a highway in the country and you see these horses and you stop to pet the horses that come to the fence. And the poem is called A Blessing, and blessing will be important for us in the context, and I will pick up that word later on. So this is A Blessing by James Wright. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bound softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darkened with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely, they can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly like wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slender one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. And if you have, can think of an experience of which you might want to say, suddenly I realized that if I'd step out of my body, I'd break into blossom, that is the kind of experience we are talking about. And that, the focus on that experience, first of all, shows us our particular approach, your individual particular approach to the mystic experience, and it also shows us the connection between spirituality and religion and religions. If, as human beings, we are by nature those who are longing for this communion with the ultimate, that's what makes us human. And the proof is that in that moment you felt really human. You felt, you probably didn't reflect on it, but now later on when you reflect on it, you can see, yes, that's what makes us human. That kind of experience makes us human. That experience also is real, you see. Maslow set himself the question, is this real or not? Is this real or is it just imaginary? Is this real? And he came to the conclusion that this question makes no sense because we take our notion of what is real from that kind of experience. You have to have some measure if you say something is real. So you have to come to something that is really real. And for humans, that is the real thing, that kind of experience. And everything else is measured by it. So how do we come from that mystic experience to those religions that we find all around us, which are inspired by the mystic experience? Because if you go back to the root of any religious tradition that we can historically follow to its beginnings, and the primeval religions we cannot follow to that point, but the historic ones we can often follow back quite a ways. You find that figures like Buddha, like Jesus Christ, like Muhammad, had mystic experiences. And that set then this whole tradition into motion.